How credit cards quietly redesign the way you think about money. Have you ever noticed that spending $120 on a credit card somehow feels easier than handing over $120 in cash? It's the exact same amount, the same purchase, the same impact on your finances. But somehow your brain treats them differently. And that's the quiet power of credit cards. They don't just change how you pay. Over time, they can change how you think about money itself. Not because you're irresponsible, but because modern financial systems are designed to make spending feel effortless while making the true cost almost invisible. Let's look at a very ordinary situation. Imagine you're a 28-year-old office worker living in Chicago, Manchester, or Berlin. You earn around $70,000 a year before taxes. After taxes and deductions, you bring home roughly $4,300 each month. Your rent costs $1,600. Your car payment is $450. Insurance, utilities, groceries, internet, and your phone bill add another $1,300. A student loan payment takes $300. At this point, you've already committed about $3,650 before you've even enjoyed your month. That leaves roughly $650 for everything else. Restaurants, weekend trips, streaming subscriptions, birthday gifts, new clothes, unexpected expenses. And because there's not much room left, the credit card quietly steps in. You tell yourself you'll pay it off next month. It feels temporary, reasonable, it's normal. After all, almost everyone around you is doing the same thing. The strange part is that your lifestyle doesn't suddenly become extravagant. You're not buying yachts. You're not flying first class. You're simply maintaining what feels like an average life. And that's exactly why credit cards are so powerful. They remove the moment where you naturally ask yourself, can I really afford this today? Instead, the question becomes, can I fit this into next month's payment? That sounds like a small difference. But psychologically, it's enormous. Behavioral economists have studied something called the pain of paying. When people hand over physical cash, their brains experience a stronger emotional reaction. It feels like giving something up. Credit cards reduce that feeling. The payment happens in the future. The emotional discomfort is delayed. Your brain enjoys the purchase today while pushing the financial consequence into tomorrow. That tiny delay changes spending behavior more than most people realize. Now let's put some numbers behind it. Suppose you carry a $5,000 credit card balance at an interest rate of 22% APR. If you only make minimum payments, you could end up paying well over $2,000 in interest before that balance disappears. Think about what that interest actually represents. It isn't buying you a better apartment. It isn't investing in your future. It isn't creating memories. It's simply the cost of having spent yesterday's money with tomorrow's income. And here's the part many people never notice. Once using credit becomes normal, your financial decisions slowly stop being based on your bank account. They become based on your available credit limit. That's a completely different mindset. Instead of asking, how much money do I have? Your brain starts asking, how much room is left on the card? Those questions sound similar, but they lead to very different lives. This is why two people earning exactly the same salary can experience completely different financial futures. One person sees income as something to spend. The other sees income as something to allocate. The difference isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. It's simply how they define available money. Over 10 years, this difference compounds. Someone who continuously carries balances pays thousands in interest. Those same dollars could have stayed invested, reduced financial stress, or created flexibility during difficult times. Instead, they quietly disappear into financing costs that rarely feel dramatic in any single month. That's why this trap is so easy to ignore. Nothing catastrophic happens overnight. There isn't one huge mistake. There are hundreds of tiny decisions that feel harmless because the payment isn't immediate. Financially thoughtful people don't necessarily avoid credit cards. Many use them every day. But they don't treat the credit limit as extra income. To them, a credit card is simply a payment tool, not permission to increase their lifestyle. The purchase has already been approved by their budget before the card ever comes out of their wallet. That's a subtle difference, but it's one that protects their future without requiring extreme discipline or constant sacrifice. In the end, the biggest influence of a credit card isn't the plastic itself. It's the invisible shift in thinking. When spending becomes disconnected from earning, it's surprisingly easy to believe you're wealthier than you really are. Real financial progress often begins when those two things become connected again. Not through guilt, not through fear, but through awareness. Because once you notice how your mind responds to credit, you start making decisions with a little more clarity, and clarity is often worth far more than another paycheck. If you enjoy calm, thoughtful conversations about money and financial psychology, consider subscribing for more videos like this.